keeps watching me.
So it brings us to new business, which is the water rate ordinance, the first reading, and this is what gets the ball rolling. I'll let you finish talking on that, or have a CWB if they want to.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing all right?
Yes, sir. There you
Good.
go. Most of you guys know we've had the workshop, so we got the background on this rate. What we're looking to do, you guys are at a deficit on your budget of about a little over $500,000, even close to $600,000 a year is what y'all are running under each year. So the first part of this is to get your rates up to where the water and sewer is pretty much breaking even. And then what we've done is add 5% a year for 6 years, and that's going to support 2 bond issues of $5 million apiece to provide capital improvements. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, what we're attempting to do here. And as Will stated, Cruz has looked over everything, the bond coverage will be there. So I think everything's in line with what you're seeing. I've back run the numbers for 2 years, and it does produce the necessary numbers for coverage on the bonds. So
I know y'all spent a lot of time on it, appreciate it, and then we just need to get this first reading, go ahead and advertise it, and then have our community meeting on whatever date we set.
yeah, the first meeting will kick into advertisement, and there'll be a public hearing that comes after that, and y'all be able to entertain it 2 more times, 2 more readings, and adopt the ordinance, if that is what y'all choose to do. So, as he said, bond council's looked over everything. Ryan Bowman helped draft the ordinance, so I think everything is, and they will be hopefully able to attend the next meeting. Cruz and
Yeah, I
Friday
think
couldn't be
we
able
can
to
get
attend.
everybody there, and they'll need to be there.
Yeah, for the public meeting, so.
And I appreciate Cruz, you know, they have worked on 2016.
And Will and Donna, you know, they set the rates. Those rates were set very well, provides the coverage, and it's kind of right there. So there's not a lot of extra, but it's right what y'all need, back tested over 2 years. So we feel confident in the numbers.
Okay. At this time, I entertain a motion, second, to put on the first reading by title only, the ordinance amending sections 10.0801 and 10.0802 of the Clinton Municipal Code relating to this issue.
I'll make a motion.
Motion?
I'll second.
Second. Any other discussion?
I had a little bit of discussion on this. Before to read, there were 2 versions of this ordinance sent out to the agenda, am I correct? And so we need to pull the one, my understanding is they met
That's the same.
and voted to raise the deposit amount, right?
Yes.
And so the ordinance with the same amount needs to be pulled, so everyone understands that.
So which one are we looking at, the new deposit?
One that says new.
The meeting
That's
of
what I
the
was wondering too when I saw that.
So
One
the
says
reading-
new and one says same.
Oh, it says, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I can touch on that if I need to.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
So,
In looking over the ordinance, when he had sent me the first draft of that, we noticed when I was reading over it that it included the deposits. And deposits are basically supposed to cover 1 month's worth of water usage. So say someone leaves and they call and say, just take it out of my deposit, we can. We can't spend that deposit money unless someone releases it and we can use it towards the bill. But if a renter leaves us or whatever, we can say, all right, you still owe us this, but we can take the $50 out, is what it was before. So basically, by the time you do shut a customer off for lack of pay, you've got 2 months worth, because their bill's due the 15th, they got until the 3rd of the next month to pay it, so you've got close to 2 months there. So what I propose to do is I raised it from $50 to $100 in the form of deposits for the residential, and it went up, you know, the same for the commercial and stuff. And the board voted on that Tuesday night to go ahead and put that through. But we didn't want to slow up the processes, so Ryan Bowman wrote up 2 different ordinances. The only change was the bond.
And it was from 50 to 100 and 100 to 150.
Yeah.
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 Okay, thanks.
I just want to make sure.
Right. If you was at the meeting, you vote on that, but that's, yes. Okay. Any other discussion?
So is this just for the water rates?
I mean, it's got the sewer rates in here, but I didn't see where it showed like a percentage of change or anything like that.
The sewer rates are changing also, yes.
They're in that, yeah.
The base rate went up in sewer and the per thousand. So it affects both, and actually the public hearing is the one required on the sewer.
For the sewer, yeah.
Yeah, section 1, section 2, section 2.
The tapping fee is not included in this ordinance either, though.
We already have that ordinance for the new tapping
Well, I
fee.
thought we did, but I thought it probably needed to be in this ordinance. It's not on E, it just says a tapping fee.
There's a sewer tap. Let's see.
Sewer tap down there, residential and commercial, section 2.
Yeah, okay, so water taps are section 1D. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Section
all.
1E. And then sewer taps are section 2.
Sewer taps are,
Section 2, it said that the tapping fees are listed there, $450 and $475 for the sewer.
and we didn't change that, that was already there. We didn't make any changes to the sewer taps.
I think Brian did check and make sure that those carried forward at the proper number.
Yes,
correct?
it's listed on here on the ordinance.
And the tap fees is the same tap fees that you approved.
That's what
last
what I was
yeah.
thinking, but I just didn't
Yeah.
see it in this ordinance. That's what I was asking.
It's in here. The water is based on cost, and that's on that section E. It's there.
Any other discussion?
I've got a couple questions. On the number 11 there on the oil and gas customers, do we have any oil and gas customers right now buying water from us?
We do not.
We do not. And my second question is, it looks like you've got them at the same rate that we're charging Clinton customers outside the city limits. Why are we not charging them like we would charge a commercial outside the city limits?
That's, we didn't change any of that. One way I look at that is, I don't wanna treat them any better than a regular residential customer. I mean, because they're not a full-time customer. Now, we also, like say, we charge these customers, our gas and oil, we actually charge our customers that's, doing the construction on the highway and everything off of these rates. So,
And I think, furthermore, I think it's based on the meter they use to pull that water.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're using a larger meter, so they would automatically be in commercial.
Well, it says 3/4 inch meters.
So that means they're using a very small residential, so it wouldn't apply very often. What I saw in the rates was most of the time they would hit a 1 or a 2-inch meter,
yes.
and they would be charged that commercial rate. So
Right, but
Most
you're,
of the time they're off a fire hydrant or something.
Yeah, we
When
have
they-
fire hydrant
meter
meters, yeah.
attached to
you're
it.
charging them $25.20 for the first 1,000 gallons, which is the same rate we're charging Clinton residential outside city limit customers with a 3/4 inch meter, but Clinton commercial outside city limit customers are being charged $29.40. Is the oil and gas company not commercial?
They would be,
That's
yeah.
the question. I mean, we're actually giving them a better deal than we are the other commercial people outside the city of Clinton. And my question was, on the B Branch Water Association, I would have asked you these questions the other night, but I didn't have this in front of me the other night. B Branch is getting charged a less amount per 1,000 gallons in Van Buren County. I didn't know what that was about.
They originally were set up that way, and every time there was an increase, they were just increased the same. Is the way I look back in history and what it was before. And well, and I will say this, we don't have as much pumpage to, we actually don't pump at all to B Branch.
Yeah, I think that's
They draw
location
from us.
specific.
Yeah, they draw from us. B Branch water actually sucks out of our, pole yard tanks, but we don't pump any. We pump it to pole yard from the, water plant, and that's all the expense we had on it.
And then my final question is on the 5% increase, we're looking at 5% of the per 1,000.
And on the minimum.
Oh, we're gonna go up on the minimum too?
It's in there, yeah.
Okay.
So, I was trying to do a figure just quickly, and $40 is about $2 increase. If you had a $40 monthly bill, it's about $2 or so that's gonna go up.
Yeah. If you will look at the rate that's on this ordinance, like on the in-town, city limits, the minimum is $22.05. It was, I don't have it in front of me, it was 18 something before. I mean, there was that increase was put in there. In this, there was already 5% added to that minimum.
One of the questions I got, and it's kind of more to y'all, maybe you might know, on the sewer side, how much change it might be if the rates was done by, say, like I've talked to, looked at Cersei. Cersei does a rate as, I don't know exactly, but say October to April, 6 months in the winter months. And that's the rate that they get charged for their sewer through the summer months. So that the rural community don't have water in their grass, washing their cars and all of that. Because that's always a question that I've always heard. You know, we pay for
consumption.
Yeah, if we did that, the only thing I could see is if we did that, we'd just, on the summer months, have to go up even higher to cover, because we raised the rates to cover O&M.
I understand that, but that's.
So if we don't charge, if we only charge 8 months out of the year this amount, then you're gonna have to charge more that 8 months out of the year.
Well, it wouldn't be, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be more. There's just so much of that comes into play that, well, I water my garden and I'm losing 1,000 gallons, or I filled my pool, you know, because I did earlier this year.
We do actually, when you fill your pool, you can call in and we will send out a bill, and then when you call in and say, I have filled out my pool, that next year it can be, or next month we can prorate that. We actually do that for customers to call in.
And I would say there's really two schools of thought here. The ones that do the average winter, it is a lower rate, but you also got to realize that most of the sewer water you're getting is, there's a lot of I&I rainfall. And so, you know, you're actually treating a lot more than people are putting in there.
Yeah,
So there's kind of a give and take, you know, you may get charged a little more, but they're also treating a lot more than you're sending them.
But a lot of that
on your
from
service lines and stuff are contributing.
infrastructure that needs to be fixed.
Yep, but a lot of that's personal infrastructure too. The service lines, they usually contribute about 40%. So it's kind of a give and take, and some communities do it one way, some do it different, but both.
That's a sewer problem I've always had, you know, everybody's always said. You know,
And both are
I don't
common.
use as much as I
Yeah.
give back. I use more than what I give back, you know.
It's done more in the larger systems too. Little Rock wastewater, that's what we did when we went to AWC on that. You know, other municipalities, City of Searcy, North Little Rock, they can have that data to average that winter consumption.
Yeah.
AWC, they got tons of data to do that.
And then typically it's done in communities with a lot of sprinklers and yard
Well, I'm thinking,
landscaping.
You know, here I am, I'm back in the rural community thinking of everybody's garden. And you get out in the country, which they don't have sewer, but you never know when, there may be.
Do we not have the option of an irrigation meter though?
Yes.
There's no sewer charge on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You do
I
have
didn't-
to,
I wasn't
you gotta
aware
take
of
in a
that.
separate separate meter,
Mhm.
and it's a separate minimum, but yes, there is that option. And we do have customers in town that have just irrigation meters.
Anything else?
Bruce, I look at it, Mr. Mayor, I kind of look at it this way on the whole thing, and that is looking at the big picture of things, because everybody can pick out a particular thing on it, but that's not what got us where we're at right now. And so, you know, I'm looking at what the city's gonna be like 20 years from now, 25 years from now. I mean, I want to make sure when we look at this the 10-year plan that we had, that we're confident that we can do this 10-year plan. I mean, it won't, and some of it will be done a little bit ahead, but at least we've got the revenue. The water department's going to be in a financial shape that these things that we've identified that are just crucial to the, not just to the water department, but to the city. You know, we've got to get this done. And I would though like to ask possibly, when we have our next meeting or something, or after the public hearing, maybe we could do a comparison, because we do have a lot of older people, at least in my ward, there's a lot of older people and stuff, and maybe look at, all right, this is, you know, this is actually what it's gonna cost you as far as if you're the minimum on sewage and minimum on water. You know, this is what we're looking at, because I think that's an easy thing to explain to somebody if their bill goes up, you know, $4 or $5 or a month, maybe, you know, you might be talking $8 to $12 or something. People can understand that, and but I think people also understand that they're going to see something in return because they're making an investment on the city. I just know the years that I've been, since I've been elected and Richard first got elected, I know both of us were bombarded. That was the number one, I think it still is.
Still is.
The number one thing when people talk about making progress for our city is to make sure we've got that infrastructure. I really appreciate all the hard work over the last several months, and we're doing it right. We're making sure we get things covered. I mean, like I said, I still won't get this question answered. Why our bonding agents didn't step in and just take, I mean, maybe they just didn't want to, and so they were going to let, you know, we'll just let them string out here for as long as we possibly can, because we don't want to take over the water department. But, you know, I just appreciate the hard work that people have done. They've gone back and double checked and triple checked, and, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, we will start something. He doesn't have to come to us and say, well, I wish we could get that pole yard, but we don't have the money to do it. I wish we could start running it and doing all that kind of stuff. But, you know, slow progress is better than no progress at all, Richard. So, I mean, I think we're still moving in the right direction as far as the projects that we've undertaken so far. And, you know, and like I said, I'm looking at what the city of Clinton's going to look like 20, 25, or 30 years from now. That's my focus. Because, I mean, I know where we are in 2019, and we don't need to be where we're at right now in 2019. And I want it to be a whole lot better 20, 25, or 30 years from now, where other
Like
mayors
better
and
than
city
you found it.
councils, yeah, they won't be sitting like, you know, making decisions and things like that we have.
If they run us off, they'll at least come in and go, wow, okay, we got something to work with.
Well, it's like they had an election down in my hometown, Little County. They needed a new jail forever. They just get, and finally it passed, and the sheriff was like, well, you know, I've always talked about kicking that can, well, we don't have a can, and they said, well, we have a rim, and at least they got a new can, you know, they can kick. So maybe we can get us a new can or something that we can use.
But you were talking about after we get this read and getting with people and telling them what their bill will be. Actually, they can call the office now,
they can
and without ever getting on the computer, I didn't pass this around and show anybody because I can't show you what his meter is, or his bill is. I can't show this person that, but I do have a print off for the whole month of April. Is what we based a lot of our stuff on. We run these numbers right here for the month of April. So you can call into the office and you can say, what was my water bill in April? What would it have been in April if we were under this? And we can give it to you right there. So, I mean, just for people's peace of mind, we do have that there.
I'm happy with the numbers that you're comfortable with, and see that.
Got another question.
I know you already, I'm sorry.
This shows October 1st, 2020, when it would go into effect. I thought it was gonna start like after it gets approved, or am I reading this wrong? That's the sewer side, and it may be different, the water side's the same.
Yeah, after it's approved and that it should start.
Where you see it.
But,
I don't see
okay,
where it
wait,
says
I'm
2020.
reading it wrong.
Okay.
It's the rates above shall be increased by 5% after. So the increase will come in first, and then in 2020, it'll go up 5% more.
Yeah.
I'm reading it now,
This
after
has-
I read it through again.
This has scheduled increases, so you won't have to
Yeah.
go through this process for the next 5
Yes,
years.
for the next 5
So
years.
it is still a 5-year deal?
Yes.
That's,
It's
I was
actually,
counting-
we
I was
said
counting
6
4
counting
years,
this
and I
year.
was like, I thought it's 5, but we had to check that.
And like you
These
said,
numbers right here in this ordinance has already got a 5% already in them. So then in 2020, there'd be another 5%. And then, and that'd be that way for 5 more
it's
years.
taking
after
little
this.
bites, or pretty good bites, a
Yes.
little bit at a time, spreading them out.
Well, and it's getting y'all a long ways down the road. You brought up the master plan. You know, we did that 10-year capital improvement plan in 2015, 2016 timeframe. We got about a 1.5 million completed in that. Well, this will get you 10 million more completed, because auto reads is a separate deal. So this will be $10 million worth of projects in a 6-year period that you're gonna complete, of that master plan. So it'll pretty much get you to the finish line. There'll just be a little bit of stuff. And we're gonna sit down with Will and reprioritize that. If this does pass, which hopefully it does, we're gonna sit down and reprioritize that entire capital improvement plan. Because things have changed a little bit in 3 years. He's on board, seeing some new stuff. We're gonna shift it around, shake it up, but you're gonna almost get to the finish line of that capital improvement plan. So this is a big step. So just want y'all to be aware of that.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion?
Yeah, one more time, I'll go back to this number 11. So you don't have any oil and gas customers now, so say we didn't have number 11 in there, and you had an oil and gas customer come wanted to buy water, you would just apply the commercial rate?
So commercial-
This is oil and gas, yeah, I guess I slipped by, that's oil and gas, 3/4 inch meter. So that's just like an office building over here where, like on down 16 where they used to have an office building, they have a 3/4 inch meter, that's a special rate just for that office building. But then if we sell them water through a bigger meter, it goes to the 1-3, you know, most of our oil and gas customers were at least a 3-inch meter,
Yeah,
so.
so say like XTO. that-
XTO, the XTO building over here, that's what it was. So that building would have been on that oil and gas 3/4 inch meter.
But why different than a commercial is what we're thinking. We're just like,
Yeah.
just amend that, get it out of there, or whatever, and leave it.
So you're saying if an oil and gas customer comes in and locates within the city of Clinton, they're gonna be charged 20 plus?
For their office building, that's what it is right now. But say I sell them water, I mean, we have a big, yeah, we have
I
a,
was fixing to ask is, have you ever done a 3/4 inch line? But it makes more sense that that's in
and that's
their
what,
business.
since I've been here, we
per
have
se.
not. I mean, so I'm saying it's the business. I'm just saying that because we've not done any of that. We don't have any of those customers now.
Well, we've got an oil and gas customer over here just down the road, what are they paying? I mean, are they on this rate, or are they on the?
If they have a 3/4 inch meter, they're on this rate right here, on that rate 11.
Yeah, is they still there? I didn't know if
I don't-
they're still there.
And that's something that can be changed. I mean,
It's okay.
no, I'm for my residential and commercial customers in town, putting them before I do gas. I'm not worried about gas and oil. I'm all about the customers, so. Yeah, we've had that discussion with, since
Well,
I've been in the office.
after you say that, I mean, look, if they're in the city, they're actually paying more because they're oil and gas. Commercial people inside the city pay less,
Mhm.
so. But just outside the city was.
But after you pointed that out, I looked at that, and that is just for a 3/4 inch meter, so that would be like an office building, is what that is.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, gentlemen. I'll ask for a roll call.
Barnes,
Yes.
Bradley,
Yes.
Hastings,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
An ordinance amending sections 10.08.01 and 10.08.02 of the Clinton Municipal Code and prescribing other matters relating thereto.
And just, we'll lock in those dates of the.
Yes, okay, yeah, in front of me now that that's been read in, this is official. I have a notice of public hearing here in front of me that Ryan Bowman also wrote up. It has the water rates and sewer rates posted with it, and we actually have a scheduled date of September the 30th here in this building at 5:30 for the public hearing. It is a Monday night, We had a couple of different options where everybody could make it, and Monday night or Wednesday night of that week, and we didn't want to do a church night, so. So I will be giving these to the papers and it'll be in.
Who's watching? Who's watching me?